Facebook. So thank you so much for joining us and being patient with us as we work through my technical problems, getting our Strategic Partner Education Moment series up and running this week. We are fortunate enough to be joined by the Monika Social, who is growing her brand definitely within the Edmonton market about how she's able to help real estate professionals grow their brand and their business through social media platforms. So it's an honor to have her with us. And small tidbit, Monika and I share a best friend who doesn't live in Edmonton anymore. But yes, we found that out at a networking event that we are actually who we are. We always knew who each other were, but never had met. So this is great to have you. So welcome. Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a small world. We actually share a friend that's a realtor in Chicago now. So small world, and she's doing big things over there, and it's nice to see. And I hope someday soon I can go over to Chicago and actually see Chicago. I'm gonna get started here with just opening up my PowerPoint. So just give me 1 second. So I am Monika Adams, the owner of Monika Social, your social media marketing strategist here in Edmonton. I am in my 5th year of my business here starting September. Other than that, the biggest news for me this year is that I'm now a marketing mentor with Nate through the Maja Center. So I did go to school at Nate. Worked in the home and land development industry as a marketing coordinator for 10 years. So this is where I kind of started and how I am here today as an expert in the real estate industry. But further ado, I want to get started just on some social media basics for realtors. I'm mostly going to be covering Facebook and Instagram. And a little bit on LinkedIn, of course, because I can't speak about that one enough for realtors lately. So we're going to just get started. So Facebook business page, I'm just going to leave it on this slide while I speak. I can't speak about Facebook business page enough. I know I am a millennial, an older millennial. A lot of people are saying to me right now, hey, well, I'm getting rid of Facebook. And I'm kind of saying, hey, maybe don't get rid of it completely, because you do need a personal account to have a Facebook business account. And if a person loses that, then they're going to be losing a target audience that is on Facebook, which is an older audience. So Facebook is kind of more 30 to like 60, but if that is one of your target audiences, then you're going to be losing that again, because some of those older generations are not on Instagram. Which is where most of us millennials want to be nowadays. Again, Facebook also is another portal of information to lead people to your website. So your Facebook business page needs to look professional. Of course, you should always have things like a proper headshot, your information, and your website filled out so that people can just basically go to your website and find out more information. The best thing about Facebook business pages is that it's free. It does increase your exposure and your brand. It is good to have it so that people can tag you in these things called Facebook community pages, which are huge on Facebook now. So there's a Windermere page, a Leduc page, a St. Albert page, a Sherwood Park page. And if people are looking for realtors in those communities, then people can tag you on your Facebook business page with the @ symbol and say, hey, you should contact this realtor. They are an expert in St. Albert. So that's another reason to keep a Facebook business page and keep it where it's actually somewhere where you're sending people. Again, it's a lower expense. It does build brand loyalty. So a lot of people will say, hey, if I really like this realtor, I'm just going to keep following and seeing what he's doing or she's doing. Again, it is increasing your web traffic. So that's the biggest thing. There are features that realtors, of course, should be utilizing because they are pushing them with the algorithm right now. So Facebook now, of course, it has stories. So it is a story that you can use in your business page. So I always want to tell businesses right now and realtors that they should be utilizing that as an advertising opportunity. So when you have an open house, when you have something that you really want people to see, you should be sharing that post that you did on your Facebook business page to your story, so that you're utilizing the story feature. Because again, a lot of people are now going on Facebook and just looking at stories instead of posts specifically. And then another way that you can beat the algorithm and show up more on the Facebook business page is exactly what we're doing right now, is going Facebook Live. So I always tell realtors, if you even go live even once a week or once a month, just show up and show your face and your personality, and people will start to view you as an expert. So then they'll start tuning into things like we're doing right now. So just make sure that you go live, and that you do maybe announce it a day or two prior to, so that you can give people the opportunity to tune in to something like this that we're doing right now. Video marketing obviously is a way to stand out amongst the crowd. So going live on Facebook, you can always save the video and then utilize it on other social media platforms as well. Instagram. So Instagram is obviously where most of us millennials shine the most and are on the most. But Instagram is basically a connection of Facebook, again, because Facebook owns Instagram. So it's always good to make sure that the two are connected, of course, for things like paid advertising. The way to check this is you can go on your Facebook and make sure that your Instagram's connected, or through Instagram and make sure Facebook is connected. Basically Instagram, most people are under the age of 35. So this is your first time home buyers market. So again, you want to be thinking about your content a little bit differently on Instagram versus Facebook. Instagram, you can target more of the first time home buyers. So Instagram marketing, I just want to go over this quickly because I can talk about Instagram almost for an hour myself, but it's always a good rule of thumb to pick a username that is recognizable and easy to find. And the way I say easy to find is that your Facebook at should be the same as your Instagram, so that when people are searching you, they know, okay, oh, she's at Monika Social on Facebook and on Instagram, and so I'm easy to find. Again, you want to make sure that your profile photo, again, is also the same on Facebook and Instagram, so that people start recognizing your face or your logo and recognizing your brand. So I always want to say to people that you can either have your headshot, which is a really good rule of thumb. Personally, for me, I always tell realtors that it's a good idea to have a headshot photo of themselves, because you are the brand. Just like myself, I am the brand. So I always have a headshot photo as my Instagram photo. And just make sure that if you are having any issues with things like switching your accounts, I just always like to mention this one little tip right now. If you are wanting to make reels and videos with music and you're finding your business account doesn't have that, just switch your business account to a creator account and give it 1 to 3 business days, and you should eventually get the music feature. This is something, unfortunately, Instagram still hasn't fixed. I hope soon that everybody gets these features and that I won't have to tell everybody this, but for now, that is just a little fix if you aren't getting the music feature. Again, branding is huge as a marketing person. So I always like to tell everybody, if you do have an additional logo or the actual brokerage logo, just make sure that you have the Pantone colors, the typography, like the text that logo is, and that you're using those in your graphics across social media so that you're staying on point with branding. Again, a good rule of thumb is go and use Canva. It's a free graphic design software, and you can actually put the Pantone colors in Canva and save them so that it's easier to make your graphics. Instagram stories. So one of the biggest things now about Instagram is they've really shifted the algorithm this year. So they're pushing things like the Instagram stories and Instagram reels. So I will speak a little bit about reels coming up here, but Instagram stories are very big. If it's new to you and you're like, well, I don't really use those right now, a good rule of thumb is just when you do your post, to share your post to your stories and then just notify people that you have a new post. Stories are basically a view of behind the scenes for 24 hours. So it is a good rule of thumb to share your personality and behind the scenes. You don't always want to be using the stories to push, sales and that kind of stuff. You want to be, okay, I'm going to share a little video of myself and my dog, and then the next one will be my open house. Okay, and the next one will be something else I'm doing behind the scenes. People do, unfortunately, are nosy and want to see who we are as a realtor, as an owner of a business. So it's good to show people, hobbies and interests that you do, that make you difference. And then again, it's building relationships, and somebody can connect with you on, hey, she likes to bike or she likes to play soccer. It gives people more of a portfolio of who you are as a realtor. So again, followers want to hear your story. So I always tell people that, hey, it's a good rule of thumb to always show up on your social media. So it is credible to have yourself on your Instagram stories, even speak once a week, or go behind the scenes on an open house on your Instagram stories to show people a little bit more of your personality. Instagram Live is a good way to get showcased. Again, everybody gets notified when you go live, so it is a good rule of increasing your engagement. Again, try to do it where you do notify people a few days before. And again, it's just easy. Just make sure that your Instagram Live is kind of planned. Again, and maybe just go live for the first time for 5 minutes and then jump off, because I know a lot of people think that they have to go live for like a half an hour, and you don't have to. Just go live for a few minutes, show up, ask people, hey, what else would you like to see on my lives, and then get off. Just do little steps, and then go from there and see what those results are. Instagram TV. All it is utilization. If you do go live on Instagram Live, you now have the option to click and save it onto your IGTV, which is this little logo down here. And that way you can utilize your live video on Instagram and save it to your IGTV. And so when it does save onto your IGTV, you can actually share that then to your stories and notify people, hey, here's my last live if you want to take a look. Again, Instagram TV is just a way for us to now finally use longer videos. So your video length can be not just 15 seconds, it can be up to 60 minutes. But right now, for most of us, we don't have that utilization until we get over 10K followers. So for most of us, we get a limit of basically 10 minutes. So I tell most people that right now, people's attention span on those are about 5-10 minutes. I've been doing them quite a bit, and I've noticed after about 5-10 minutes, people usually get off of watching them. Okay, so I know I'm just gonna speak quickly about this one because it is a big thing. So I did sneak TikTok in here, and there is a reason behind that. TikTok is building a big momentum this year, and they are trying to tell a lot of people that it's not just for younger people anymore. It is for people, of course, millennials my age, and there's a big following on there that's also a mom generation. So you're getting a lot of 40-year-old moms that are now going on TikTok. But the biggest thing that I've noticed out of 2001 for social media marketing is that short created videos are trending. So that's something to focus on for your social media efforts this year, is that Reels are trending and TikTok is trending. So those short little videos with music is basically what Instagram wants you to focus on right now, because they're trying to compete with TikTok. And a lot of realtors are asking me, well, should I make a TikTok account? And what I'm saying right now is that if you are comfortable doing Reels on Instagram, then I would recommend you starting to use TikTok, because a lot of your younger generations are going to be primarily on TikTok and Instagram soon, and they're not going to be on Facebook. So if you're trying to think about, those younger generations like 22-year-olds and 20-year-olds, they're primarily going to be on TikTok. So it's something to think about, that in the near future, you might have to make a TikTok account. Okay, so how to effectively use hashtags and best times to post. This is one of the biggest questions I get most of the time when I'm presenting. So what hashtags are is basically content that makes it discoverable under those hashtags. There's branded hashtags, and then there's locational hashtags. So branded hashtags is Of course, you can make your own, like hashtag Monika Social, or you have the locational ones. So those are your airport codes. So if you're wanting to be more seen in Leduc, Calgary, wherever, or just other places in Edmonton, start looking at searching hashtags that your ideal clients are using. So sometimes I always hear a lot of people are just using, hashtag YAG RE, but hey, maybe you want to be using YAG, hashtag YAG living. So it is a good rule of thumb to switch up your hashtags and not always use the same 10 or 30 that you're using. A good rule of thumb too is some people say, well, I don't really want to use 30. That's fine. Just make sure that you're at least using at least 10 on your posts. There is 2 ways of doing your hashtags. Some people will have their text and then ... and then the hashtags. That is a good rule of thumb. Or second to that, I actually put my hashtags in my comments so that they're completely hidden. The reason behind this is that you want people to focus on your marketing message and not focus on what hashtags you're using. Again, the hashtags have no bearing on your content. They're just working behind the scenes to get your content exposed a little bit further. So a good rule of thumb is to save your hashtags on your phone under your notes, and then you can quickly just copy, paste. But if you should spend some time doing some hashtag research and start utilizing other hashtags that you want to show up. So maybe hashtag St. Albert, hashtag Spruce Grove, but each city or town has its own trending hashtags. So for Leduc, it's a good rule of thumb to go do some research and look at hashtag Leduc and which other hashtags are trending in that city. Again, they're not used the same per city. So everybody should be doing a little bit of research and changing those up. A good rule of thumb for posting for the best time is to check your analytics, because each person does have analytics on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, it's called Insights. So if you go to your profile, you'll see Insights just in a little box there. It'll actually show you the best times that you should post for your profile. So I always like to tell people they should check that. But a good rule of thumb, when I was working at my last land development company, I was there for 4 years, and I was actually doing social media for Calgary and Edmonton. So I got lots of time, and I guess they gave me lots of money to spend doing focus groups on when the best times to post for an overall audience. So the 3 best times to post are first thing in the morning, so before people start work. So anytime between 7 and 8 a.m. is a good rule of thumb. And then secondly is at noon. So when most people have nothing better to do at lunchtime, they're going to go on their phone. So that's a good time to post. And then the third time is anytime after 9 p.m. The reason behind this is that's when most people are done putting their kids to sleep, done doing their home chores, and then they finally are in bed or on the couch and they can look. So a good rule of thumb is anytime between 9 and 11 p.m. Is a good rule of thumb. So most people are posting at 8 a.m., noon, and at 9 p.m. But again, it is good to test those times and look at your insights and see what time works for you. You might have a sweet spot that 3 p.m. A lot of people are looking at your content. So then you maybe want to post at that time if that's a better time for your audience looking at your analytics. Okay, we are getting towards the end because I know I want to leave some time for questions. So these are just some rules that you can start to use, some engaging content. So a lot of people, of course, want to know once they make their Instagram account or Facebook account, how do I increase my engagement? How do I get likes? How do I get comments? There is some things that you're going to have to do to get to that place. So again, you want to be posting videos. You want to be showing up so that it's not just always a graphical post or an open house post, because people are going to be more drawn to want to engage on your social media if it's you speaking and you asking questions on a video. Again, scheduling your social media to send at the best times can also help, and writing emotional, catchy headlines to increase shares and click-throughs. So a good rule of thumb is if you're like, I don't know what a catchy headline is, go on Google and ask Google and then see what Google does. And then Google will give you a bunch of ideas, and then just try to utilize that to see if it draws a little bit more attention for people to read your actual post. And then host social media contests. So as a realtor or as somebody in the industry, it is a good rule of thumb to give back to your followers, because people like to see that you are thankful and that you're wanting to give. So even do a contest, maybe 4 times a year or 3 times a year, whatever your comfort or your budget is, but it is a good rule of thumb to do some kind of giveaway, or with another mortgage broker or somebody else that you're closely partnered with, if you want to do a giveaway, because that is the good way of getting engagement and getting new followers. Of course, when you do your contest, the way to actually get proper exposure is asking people to share that actual graphic on their Instagram story or their Facebook story, so that it gets more exposure. So when you're doing your basically your social media contest rules, just make sure that you put in there to share to your stories. That it's rule number 1 is like, second is, tag your best friend that might want this, and number 3, share to your stories. Because without that component, you're not really getting a lot of people to see that you have a contest going. And then one of the biggest things is that ask followers to engage. So on your posts, always put a call to action at the end. Ask people, hey, comment below what you think. Put an emoji if you like this post, something, a call to action to ask people to do something. Otherwise, just people will just scroll along to the next post. So it's a good rule of thumb. If you want people to do something specifically or to leave a comment, you actually have to write, comment below with what you think of this post. Comment below if you agree with this post. Just asking people to do something opens the window, and you'll start to see even one to 2 people commenting. But make sure once those people comment that you respond quickly to that, because the algorithm does notice if people are commenting on your Instagram or Facebook post and you don't reply for like a day or 2, that's not going to shoot that post up to get more exposure. So there's a reason why a lot of us social media marketing folks always say that you should respond within 24 hours is a good rule of thumb, because also the other issue with that is if you don't respond, then those people that are engaging are going to say, they're not even responding or asking me a question back, so I'm not gonna engage on their posts anymore. So just make sure that you're staying up with that. And then connect content with current events. So another good idea for realtors is, hey, if you are the expert in Leduc or Sherwood Park, that you could start sharing events that are happening in Sherwood Park. Maybe Sherwood Park is doing, a bottle drive, or they're doing this or that for a community event. Start sharing other people's community events, because then you look as kind of, the community cheerleader. And then that way you're also out there just to help with the community building as a realtor, if you're an expert in a certain area or town. So that's something that I always like to mention. And then share customer reviews, share your testimonials. Yeah, you might think it's bragging, but even if you share one a month, it does show people, hey, why do people like working with this person? So you're building your credibility, and then it gives you extra content usage as well. And then use a call to action. So I already kind of spoke about that, but another call to action that's really good to use in your post is, please visit my website. Please click the link in my bio to read more. Those are other call to actions. If you're looking for other call to actions, again, Google is your best friend. And then get your employees on social media. So if you are a realtor team, just make sure everybody is on social media and everybody's utilizing it and sharing everything. So if you, again, sharing Alex posts, if you have your own Instagram account, it is a good rule of thumb. Hey, I'm going to share the actual brokerage's social media efforts every now and again on my posts. Again, that is helping building the brand. It's helping everybody out. And then you just look as if you are not just wanting to just build yourself, you're wanting to build everybody that is under that brokerage. Okay, so I'm just going to go over quickly what services I offer. So I offer social media strategies, marketing strategies, group training, workshops, and social media speaking. And then I am giving everybody, if they want, a 30-minute discovery call. You just have to go to my website And that is everything. I don't have all of my, well, we're going to say contact information there, but if you want, you can go to monikasocial.com, and then I have all my social media handles to follow on there.
Can you throw back up that last one?
Sorry, I did it. I clicked it really quickly.
Yeah, all good, all good. Because we have a couple questions, but I think the 30-minute discovery call is fantastic to leave up there so people know how to get to you.
Of course, I shut it completely. That's funny. Yes, I did that one a little too fast.
Oh, you were just too quick on your call to action.
I know. And it's so funny because I always know everybody usually has questions. So I'm always like, I'll just get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. We'll go to the right actual slide here. Of course, I guess you can see all the questions, hey?
Yeah.
There.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So now people can see where to go and to comment and find out and get that 30-minute discovery call, because that's really important.
Yeah, because a lot of the times it's just, 30 minutes can cover, a lot of people's questions if they're kind of stuck and not knowing, which way they want to do. Again, too, sometimes it's just, hey, I have a few questions and just to get to know me more, or what else I do.
Oh, no, exactly. The biggest question we have, and it's come up a few times, is a brand new to industry person.
Okay.
They're trying to grow what is the best social media platforms, and you would say your top 2 or 3 things that they need to do to start changing people's perception of whatever they were doing before to being a real estate professional?
So the biggest thing is I didn't cover, I do speak a lot about LinkedIn. So as a realtor professional or somebody that is in the real estate industry, even as a home builder, it is a good rule of thumb, of course, to at least be on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is come a long way. I do a lot of group training for corporate businesses on LinkedIn. And what the biggest thing is that LinkedIn is being used for now is to network. So a lot of big businesses like Raptor Mining, they have this big sales team, but the sales team can't go out to businesses anymore. So they have to utilize LinkedIn now to get sales and leads. And so that is the biggest thing that I want to say is that LinkedIn is no longer a stuffy, boring place. It's actually a great place for a realtor. And now there's things like videos you can do on there. You can do live. You can actually put your event on there if you want to promote. So it's a good rule of thumb to at least have a LinkedIn account, an Instagram account, and Facebook. I know it's daunting for people to think, oh my God, I have to do that. But even if you just start with Facebook, and one platform at a time is honestly the way that I coach people. So even if you just start out with, hey, I'm going to start with Facebook, and then maybe a month later you do Instagram, and then a month later you do LinkedIn. So it's not so daunting for people. And again, LinkedIn has its own resources of free videos if you want to watch them. You can just go into LinkedIn Learning, and there's so many resources on there that you could just watch on how to utilize it better. And it doesn't have to be as daunting as people. All you need to really do is put your headshot in, put your bio, and your bio honestly can be the same across most social media platforms. It just has to be laid out a little bit differently, the way that you lay it out. But other than that, you don't have to be reinventing the wheel on each. You just need to fill out okay, I need my profile, I need my about, and I need my website. Really, that's really what all you have to do. And then you kind of have to think, okay, so how often do I want to post after that?
Right.
Good rule of thumb is post even just once or twice a week to start. You don't have to be posting once a day because that's somebody that's more advanced. So just even start with one post a week, and one post a week, and then I'm going to share that to my story, and just do that for a month. And then the second month, okay, I'm going to do 2 posts a week. So I like to tell people, because I do get a lot of people that, they only have Facebook and Instagram, is, oh my God, I don't really want to do that. But as a business person, you're doing it for a reason. You're not just doing it for a personal, hey, I just want to have fun on there and meet people. You're doing it to grow your business. So you either want to grow your business, or you're going to have to, find other ways to grow your business and spend money. So yeah, if that answers that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. The next question is, what app, or do you recommend any apps to help do one post to all posts?
Mm-hmm. So I always like to touch on this because I guess I should have said this at the beginning. I'm an organic social media marketing agency. So I always like to tell people organically what to do first. So what to do free first to build. And then secondarily, I'll say, okay, so for your open houses or for whatever you want to additionally do, you can do a paid ad, but you don't always have to do right away paid. There's a lot of organic stuff that people can do first. And then, okay, I'll maybe once a month do my paid ad for my open house or my seminar or whatever. But the good rule of thumb is that, how do I put this? Basically, you want to, so the question was basically apps. So I always like to say that I personally have used all of them. So when I worked at the land developer home builder, I was using Sprout Social. It is a beautiful app software, but it's very expensive. So it's for big corporate event businesses or big companies. If you're just a small person, I usually tell people to use Hootsuite or Later or Planoly. So honestly, you're just going to have to test each one out and see which one is user friendly to you. But I will tell you this, that Facebook and Instagram do know when you're using a third-party scheduling app. So sometimes it is good to organically post. And what I mean by organically posting is Facebook has a scheduling app in Facebook. So if you go on Facebook business page, you can go under publishing and you actually can schedule your post in Facebook. And now you can actually schedule to go on Facebook and Instagram. So you don't necessarily need to pay for an app. You can use a free way through Facebook. And guess what? Facebook loves it. So then guess what it does? It shoots your stuff up in the algorithm a little bit more, that because you're not using Later or Hootsuite, because again, they know when you're using those scheduling apps. So, but if you're really busy and that's all you can do, then I would definitely tell you to check out Hootsuite and Later are the number two right now. Later is the biggest one for people to use for Instagram. But Hootsuite kind of covers you a little bit more for LinkedIn and Twitter and any other social media platforms that you're utilizing.
Awesome. Yeah, those were the two main, biggest questions that kind of showed up a few different times.
Those are great questions. I'm getting used to, I know kind of which ones are coming now. And so
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. So that's kind of all we have. Definitely everyone watching, go to Monica's website, take advantage of the free 30 minutes. It will do, even if you think you're a social media guru, it doesn't hurt to get the thumbs up and say, yes, you're doing it right. If you're a new beginner and you're needing some help, 30 minutes can go a long way from taking you from 0 to at least intermediate.
Even just a plan to get started.
Yes. It all starts, the hardest thing is taking the first step. So take the first step, make the call, and then start going from there. Exactly. But Monika,
thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for joining us. It was Majena's birthday yesterday, so I hope she had a good one. I know she
went out for dinner, and then I was super happy she got flowers.
Good. And when we can go, I bet we'll probably both try and go, and maybe we'll be there at the same time.
Exactly. So. That would be awesome. Exactly.
So Majena, if you're watching, we're coming.
We're coming for you.
We're coming. We're coming down to Chicago. Sorry?
Have you been to Chicago?
No.
Me neither. So that's why it's like, we got to go.
Yeah. Well, and we got to go for the sports. And the biggest Starbucks in the world, apparently, if that's a thing. But yes, okay. See you, Monika. Thank you again so much. And
have a great
everyone,
day.
check her out. Facebook or website. Take advantage of the 30 minutes.
Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the sunshine.
Bye.
Bye.